Welcome to the Odyssey. Hit the like, press play. You're running with the squad like Xenoblade. Drive like Mario, we on a...
Before we get into the video, I just want to remind everyone that we are on our way to 100K. And if we get there before the year ends, I will be choosing 20 lucky subscribers to win a Nintendo Switch. All you got to do is subscribe, hit that bell, and be active in the community, and you can be chosen at our 100K live celebration. Welcome back to the Odyssey. I am Mike Odyssey, and today we're talking about the Switch 2, how we find clues of the Switch 2 in Mario Wonder and the future of Nintendo. But before that, we'll jump into some quick news here and there just to get you updated in the world of Nintendo. But don't worry, we got timestamps down below to skip to what you came here for, right? It's only fair. Let's get started. All right, let's start out in the world of Pikmin. The physical versions of Pikmin 1 and 2 will be out in September. Why not now with the digital version? Well, Nintendo's kind of really changing things around because when they release physical versions, they actually leak out too soon, and this leads to piracy. So now, from now on, I think Nintendo's kind of looking at this method of releasing games digital first, physical a lot later. And surprise, surprise, Sonic fans, we have a Sonic Central today, actually. You know, it starts at 8 a.m. PST time, 11 a.m. Eastern time, and 4 p.m. UK time. Sonic Central. Many updates are expected, along with DLC for Sonic Frontiers, a lot more on Sonic Superstars, and everything else Sonic. So yeah, go ahead and tune in. Links to the live event are down below in the description, so go ahead and check it out. And more sad news for E3 2024 and 2025. It looks like they have been canceled as well, but the ESA says no final decisions have been made. Now, why do we say this is canceled? It looks like the LA Tourism Board mentions it in its plans, right? They had a meeting. They found out during that meeting that E3 for 2024 and 2025 have been canceled. So I guess ESA might be looking at moving E3 to a different state or even canceling it altogether. So there you have that. And last but not least, an update to Nintendo Online Plus expansion pack, because now Fire Emblem, the Blazing Blade, now available on Nintendo Switch Online. So you can go ahead and play that if you have the Online Plus expansion pack thingy. All right, so let's move on to today's topic, which is the Nintendo Switch 2 and how Mario Wonders really kind of hints at it. And I want to talk about specifically how Mario Wonders, it looks and feels, because there's so much going on here. If you compare this Mario Wonders game to any other Mario game, you will see a huge difference in just about everything when it comes to graphics, when it comes to animation, when it comes to music, when it comes to the overall aesthetics of the game. The game is a completely new Mario. It's just completely new. All the way down to the voice acting, which has led a lot of people to believe that even Charles Martinet has been kind of, replaced. Even though that's not the case, he was just giving a different direction on how to voice Mario. I'm telling you, the attention to detail in every single character, in every single movement, the faces, their expressions, how they move and how they react to their environment is there like never before. And what I believe is that this is Mario moving forward. This is Nintendo's way of telling us, hey, this is Super Mario from now on. This is what you will see in the Nintendo Switch 2, which by the way, I believe this game is also a dual-gen game. This game looks too crisp, too incredibly beautiful in order to be just a Switch game. And I believe that, yeah, we're close. We're close to the Nintendo Switch 2. And you might ask, but Mike, look at the lineup. Look at all of the games that they just announced. And not only that, there's still 2 more games that were announced, but they're coming in 2024. How can you say that we are at the end of the cycle? How can this happen? Well, I agree with you, because for the first time in a long time in Nintendo's lifespan when it comes to consoles, we have never gotten a lineup this big at the end of a cycle, right? Nintendo's right now it's in its 7th year. And when I mean 7th year, no, I don't mean like it's been 7 years. I mean, it's been 6.5 years, but we are going towards the 7th year of the Nintendo Switch. And at this point in time, I believe that the President Furukawa basically stated at one point, he said, we were looking forward to how we handle the transition for the next gen console because we don't want to fall off a cliff. What does that mean? Fall off a cliff. It means that they don't want to lose sales while they transition. They don't want to have the Nintendo Switch sales or even games just go basically straight down. If you look at like a graph, straight down, before they release a new gen Switch. They don't want people to say, they don't want that gap. They don't want that gap of you anticipating the next console. They want people to be enjoying their current console while they surprise us with another console, which I think is completely genius. We're here distracting. We're here kind of wowing over Mario RPG, that remake. We're here really going gaga over Mario Wonder. We're here talking about all of the games that were announced. Pikmin 4 looks fantastic. Not only that, but we also have Pikmin 1 and 2 on the Nintendo Switch. We were here kind of all distracted with all these amazing announcements. The Fae Farm was a great game that they also displayed, it looks great. It's not a first party game, it's a third party game, but it looks fantastic as well for this period of time in the Nintendo Switch. And they're doing it. They are actually doing it. They're keeping steady. They're keeping their hands steady, right? They're not shaking. They're not kind of, panicking. They're just keeping their hands steady when it comes to game releases, when it comes to announcements. And yes, there are a lot of ports and a lot of remakes. The big sign, if you go back to a conversation we had at the beginning of the year, I first stated, look, if Nintendo has a year where we have a lot of remakes and a lot of ports, that means that this is a Switch 2 transition year. Now, whether the Switch 2 will come this year or the next, we don't know, but that it is a transition year, yes, it is. First, we got Metroid Prime Remaster, a remastered port, right? And we continue with Kirby's Dream Land Deluxe, another port. Mario RPG is another port. Pikmin 1 and 2, another port, right? And I'm probably missing more that were announced this year, but this is a remake transition year, right? And there's just basically what Nintendo does at the end of every Switch life cycle. Doesn't mean that the Switch is ending. It just means that they are ready to transition. And I have not seen a better way to transition in a better method, because they're not falling off a cliff right now with everything they've announced. They've announced some Switch sellers, right? They've announced some really good holiday games. Out how they're ending the year, because this is incredible. All right, right now in July we are still expecting Pikmin 4, right? Pikmin 4. In October there are 2 huge games, not just one but 2. Detective Pikachu returns, all right, on October 6th. On October 20th, we have Mario Wonder. Then we move on to November, where we have, again, 2 great games. WarioWare Move It in November 3rd, right? Then we have Super Mario RPG, the remake, on November 17th, right? Nintendo doesn't release games in December. A lot of Christmas wish lists are made way before December. That's why Nintendo goes back all the way to August, September, October, November to release the holiday lineup, what they believe. And I think with games like Pikmin 4, Detective Pikachu, Mario Wonder, Mario RPG, they are great games, and I think they are also system sellers when it comes to, the actual Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch is getting its last push, and I believe it's a great one. No, it's not going away. The Nintendo Switch, I keep saying this because I want to make sure that I reassure you guys who just bought a Nintendo Switch. No, Nintendo Switch, it's not going away. We still have about 3 more years of the 10-year lifespan of the Nintendo Switch, but we will be sharing the last 3 years of the Nintendo Switch with the next gen console. And I believe that in those 3 years, Nintendo will probably, at least those last 2 years, Nintendo will release a game on the Switch 2 and a game on the Switch. Yeah, guys, it is a transition year into the Switch 2. I think Nintendo is doing phenomenal. I think the Super Mario Brothers Wonder is a game that really hints a lot at what Nintendo has in store for us moving forward with the Super Mario Brothers franchise, and I really can't wait to see what's next. Nintendo is on a roll. We are so happy with the announcements. I know there were still announcements left. Remember, there's still September, and we'll see what Nintendo has next. I predict the Switch 2 will be out. If not this year, then of course it'll be out next year for sure. I know there'll be those Metroid games that people are expecting. I know the Zelda ports also will be on the way. And there's a lot of games that still need to make it to the Switch in order for a lot of fans to be happy. And it's super understandable because I myself wanted to play Paper Mario 1000 Year Door and games like F-Zero, GX, and others, right? So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. What do you feel and how do you feel about Nintendo moving forward? Do you think and do you agree with me that they're doing a great job when it comes to this transitioning, not falling off a cliff, not waiting for everything to be down and dull before they transition, keeping things interesting to the very last moment so that Nintendo fan hype stays at an all-time high while they transition, and once they announce, it'll only get higher. Do you agree with that? Do you agree with me that that's what Nintendo is doing now? I want to read your comments down below, and we'll continue this conversation. So that is going to do it for this episode of The Odyssey. But before I let you go, I have 2 important things I need to let you know. Number 1, never give up. And number 2, journey on. Peace.
We're on a journey, looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like we're learning to be better.